Since 2003, Total Air has been keeping Tampa Bay area homes cool with friendly service, skilled male and female techs, and easy online booking. Perfect for your hot Florida days.
Good to go?
Good to go.
Total Air, cool responsibly.
When your power goes out, remember just how inconvenient your life can be. No lights, no refrigeration, no heating or cooling, no electronics. But with a Generac home standby generator, you'll have power when you need it. Our Generac generators automatically provide backup power after sensing a power outage, so your life goes on uninterrupted. Get a free 10-year warranty with the purchase of any air-cooled generator. Call Generac Generators today. Generac Generators. Life is primitive without power.
Streaming from the Tampa Bay 28 Weather Center in Studio A, this is Dennis Phillips Live. Sponsored by Generac Generators. Life is primitive without power. And Total Air.
How you doing, everybody? It is a Monday night edition of Dennis Phillips Live. I appreciate you stopping by. You know, this was going to be a last-second thing, and y'all know we're radio partners with a lot of local radio stations when there is a hurricane or a tropical storm around. And one of our partners, MJ, is in Tokyo right now, and I literally he just texted me. He's like, I can't believe it. I left the Bay Area, and now I'm in a typhoon. And I wanted to get him on DPL. I literally just tried to set something up with this computer over here. But I don't think the audios are set up because I saw him and it was going to work, but it didn't. So MJ says hi from Tokyo, where they have a typhoon coming in. Apparently, he said it's just a small one. You know, and obviously we had the massive earthquake, unfortunately, today in Colombia, 7.4, which is a really sizable earthquake, continuing to get damage reports on there. And yes, all of a sudden, for us, things have gotten very, very active in the tropics. So we're going to talk all about that. Today, the first day of... So this was a thing I remember from years and years ago was, you know, I remember back when, like, my first TV job, and for whatever reason, I was talking about back to school one time. And I just remember I used to get mixed responses from folks. There are some parents out there who are just thrilled that the kids are going back to school. And they're like, you know what, I got my time again, and my schedules are going to be easier, and, you know, I got all these things that I got planned. And then you got other folks that are the complete opposite. And I'm probably more the that one. So Paul Lagrone, we were just talking in the commercial break before the news today, and he's like, my son's a senior. He's a senior in high school. This is the last back to school thing that we're going to have. And, you know, I've got 6 kids, and my youngest son leaves in 5 days for Gainesville to the University of Florida. And I know a lot of y'all can relate to what we feel here, because it's kind of devastating, right? I mean, these little people that have been there all the time, and then all of a sudden they're not little anymore, and then they're on their way, and you're happy for them, you're so proud of the success, but it's gut-wrenching. It is devastating. So yeah, Hillsborough and a lot of other folks went back today. Pinellas goes back tomorrow. Pasco goes back on Thursday. So we're back. Where did the summer go? So yeah, we're bringing our son Jake to UF, and he's thrilled. You know, of course he. You know, I mean, I know a lot of y'all who went to college feel the same way. I've had a blessed life. I've had a charmed life. I've been so fortunate with, great kids and great family, and I love my job, and I love what I do. I've wanted to do this since I've been 6 years old. Literally, I was 6 years old. It's Christmas Eve, and I'm watching the weather in Seattle, Washington, and the weather guy on Christmas Eve is showing Santa on radar. And back in those days, it was a little red blip. That's all it was, a little red blip on radar, and you're like, oh, look, there's Santa. No, there's Rudolph. And I'm like, what a cool job. You can track Santa and get paid for it. And I was literally 6 years old, and that's when I decided that that's what I wanted to be a meteorologist. So I've been blessed and so fortunate to do what I do and plan on doing it for a long, long time to come. The TV business is changing. The media business is changing because a lot of y'all are changing as well. How you consume media has changed and continues to change. This show is a perfect example of that. I mean, this show started as we were just kind of a bunch of us weather geeks were hanging together on a software package, and we started chatting, and it started growing, and then Facebook Live became a thing, and we started going on Facebook Live, and then our station became the official broadcast partner of the Tampa Bay Lightning, and they got another TV station associated with that, and they're like, hey, we got to fill some stuff on there. Let's put on DPL. And it's done great. The ratings have been awesome. Y'all have tuned in, especially when there's weather to go on. So how you consume media has changed. So my point is, there might be changes down the road of how people are and where they are. But at the end of the day, man, I love the Bay Area. I love Florida weather. And I will be giving the weather for y'all as long as I can for a long, long time to come. I mean, that is absolutely what my plans are. And right now, that weather is just hot and mostly dry, but the tropics are now beginning to pick up, as you would expect they would in the month of August. And yet, that being said, if you remember, I was over here talking to MJ a minute ago. I got to change my computer around a little bit. If you remember, we were looking at what the Hurricane Center was saying. Matter of fact, I can go ahead and give you, see if we have the new advisories. Thank you, Nick. I appreciate it. Very kind. Janice, thank you very much. And Omar. Okay. All right, here we go. Stand by. Wait a minute. The show just came to a halt. By the way, I usually put my feet up on here as I got my socks on. I chopped down 3 trees in my backyard yesterday. They were not massive sequoias, but they were big enough that today I can hardly walk. And people even say that. You have 6 kids. Why don't you let them do it? Can you guys relate to the fact that sometimes it's just easier to do things yourself? It just is, right? Anyway, Omar's comment was, get to the weather already. Omar, here, I'm going to put Omar right now, because I'm in that mood. Suspend for 15 minutes. All right, Omar, you're suspended. Be noted, you are suspended. Want to try for 30? Do you feel lucky? Do you? How about a whole lifetime in the afterlife of suspensions? Because I can do it right here, Omar. All right? You hearing me, Omar? All right, anyway. So let's get to the weather. Again, we do a little bit of everything, but I promise you by the end of the show, we will have covered the weather emphatically, okay? And there go the laughing emoji. You know what? It makes me laugh because no matter how much weather we do, I get more comments when the ban button gets broken out than anything else. Last year, I had to use the ban button so much I broke my hand. True story. And I broke 2 ban buttons. So anyway, all right, so let's go back what we were looking at. So you've got the NHC's latest update. Let's see if this is this is not the 8 o'clock advisory yet. Still the 150 advisory, so the new outlook will come out shortly. But I would not expect it to look much different. So exactly, Ryan. This show is weather and more. Poor Omar. Oh, no. There is no poor Omar. Look, you know what? You make your bed. How's the expression go? You make your bed, you lie in it, or whatever it is. Get to the weather already. You know what? We're going to do a break. We're going to come back to a commercial break in 90 seconds, and then we'll get to the weather. So if you want it right now, everybody on TV and watching, blame Omar. Back in 90 seconds as DPL continues. Tell me, Omar. All right. Okay. When did you saw some heat lightning? No, there is no poor Omar. No, Omar, you brought this on yourself. All right? Get to the weather. Omar, let me tell you a story. All right? When you're at someone's house, if you have friends, I'll give you, under a leap of faith, I would say you have friends. All right? If you go to your friend's house and they have salsa out there, you guys know where I'm going with this, and you're like, hey, where's the guac? Would you, Omar, say to them, hey, where's the guac? Or would you wait for them to bring out the guac? Would you consume the salsa and think, hey, I might like this salsa? Or would you just be like, hey, where's the guac? Omar, we're not a hey, where's the guac kind of group here. We're just not, all right? So, so anyway, all right. Oh, you're saying, oh, it's out of control now. Now it's Justin too. All right, we're back. We're back in 3, 2. Oh boy, I stirred the pot today. The comments are out of control. We just had to break out the salsa and guac story. And for TV folks, you may not be familiar with this. Look. If you go to a friend's house, not even a friend's house, if you go to an acquaintance's house and there's salsa and chips out there and they're there for you to eat, would you go and say, hey, where's the guac? You would not, right? You would be like, you would wait for the guac patiently. You know the guac is probably going to come. But right there, the host only wanted to give the salsa. So you can either enjoy the salsa, expand your horizon a little bit, or you can say, hey, where's the guac? And you know what's going to happen. All right? All right, let's talk about it. And my point is on all of this is I'm assuming pretty soon that the Weather Service, the NHC, is actually going to, people are talking about avocados, suspensions. Oh, what did I do? All right, let's look. Still no update yet. All right, but here's the map that I was going to show you. I'm going to find it for you here. It's around here somewhere. One of these 11 billion maps that we have. All right, here it is. So this is the map that we showed you last week. And look, this is the overall view of the Caribbean, the MDR, the main development region, through August 25th, all right? And this shows below average rainfall, right? Or in other words, drier air. But we have many times seen, even in a dry air mass, potentially even sometimes in Saharan desert, that you can see development within that region, right? It can and it does often happen. So, with that being said, we do have a couple areas out there. Susan's asking if cruising to Cozumel will be good through the 23rd. I would say more than likely it will be. Sophie's asking, sorry, I'm new here. Who's Omar? Yeah, Omar was just the unfortunate soul who said, hey, get to weather. And that just doesn't work. I mean, not even a please. Yeah, I digress. All right, anyway, all right, let's get back to some graphics here. I'll show you what's going on outside because we have got some significant heat, and we obviously have borderline heat advisory across the area. And I'm looking at your comments now because if you're watching on TV, it's awesome, but it makes more sense if you're also following along. All right, so there's a look at Futurecast. Most of the rain we see this week will be east of I-75 for at least the next couple of days. Tomorrow, same setup. First day of school tomorrow. First day of school tomorrow for Pinellas. There were several today. Pasco's on Thursday. That was kind of what I was talking about at the beginning. It's sad. I mean, especially because I work nights, so I don't get to see my kids very often anyway because, you know, they're at school or I'm at work. But I don't know. First day of school is the saddest day of the year for me, for the kids, and I think it is for me too. All All right, so now let's go talk tropics. All right, there we go. There's a look at, it only took us 13 minutes. I mean, come on. So there's a look at, historically, over the last 100 years, where the named storms have formed. What is the recurring theme with all of this? Look at where the orange is. Look at where the red is. Look at where the tracks are. The overwhelming majority, not all, mind you, but the overwhelming majority historically stays offshore. Now, that's climatology. That's not meteorology. There is a difference. Climatology looks at the history and tries to come up with solutions and patterns and analogs based on history. Now, the new AI models use the methodology of meteorology and climatology together, in a sense, to create a better idea of what's going on. And yeah, look at all these teachers going back to school tomorrow. Charlotte, Claudette. So they actually did have an Omar, a Hurricane Omar. I remember it. I can't remember back when, but I do remember it. Justin's free Omar. Look, you're going to have to wait. That's up to Facebook. Whenever the suspension button ends, Omar can come back. Anyway, there's my point. Look at where everything is. Now, it is red. It is red. So the new update just came out. See? And see, that is what happens when you wait. The Lord helps those who help themselves. Patience is a virtue. All of those things. And now I have to change those numbers, though, because I'll show you why. Because the new numbers have just come out, and we have red. And there is the update. An area of low pressure, it is now an area of low pressure, located about 500 miles southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands, is producing a large area of showers and thunderstorms. Environmental conditions are forecast to gradually become more conducive for development during the next day or two, and a tropical depression will likely form later on the latter half of this week while the system moves westward to northwestward across the tropical Atlantic. Formation chances are now up to 70%. Now, I have to manually update these graphics on my computer, so they're not updated yet. It's still at 60% from the last advisory. I will do that after the show. But there it is. It is 70 now. Now, you see where that area is, and you're like, all right, that's in an area that makes me a little bit nervous, and I do get that, but let's go back to what we showed you a minute ago. That is exactly where, historically, a large number of systems develop this time of the year, in the MDR, the main development region, right? And the majority of these will curve away. Now, not all, but the majority. So, all right, so let's talk about these. Let's look at what this particular blob is going to do. Well, here's the Euro ensembles, all right? And we showed you this last week. I'm going to take tropical Atlantic. This is a little bit better to see. Now, you've got a system that's out there, right? And then this is the probability of a tropical depression forming through Saturday. And then through Sunday. And then through Monday. And look what happens. I'm going back in time. Bloop, bloop. We're back now to current. See the oranges? The chances of development are higher early on. But look what happens as we get into next Monday. Look at that track. Does it look familiar? Does it look familiar? Does it look familiar? Track forecast. Track historical. So as you see, at least right now, the Euro ensembles are predicting a similar track and a weakening. See how much weaker and a curve. See that? Now, I will show you one thing, all right? While you do have this right here, all right, there are a few ensemble members that actually go a little bit more west. Let's go in and show you that. Here, I'm going to call that up on this here. Let's see, where is this? Right here, spaghetti, spaghetti, spaghetti. All right, check this out. So, this is a look at the spaghettis. And you see where they're going, there's the curve, but you do have a few. I want you to look down here. See, Omar, we got to it, Omar. Just got to be patient. Did your mom ever tell you, be patient? All right. See how some of these go a little more south? See that? So there's your motion. Primarily that track that we said, well to the north, well to the east of the islands. But there are a few that try to lag it a little bit farther to the south. Now, okay, and let me be very clear about something. Do I think that's going to happen? No, I do not. Am I forecasting that to happen? No, I do not. No, I am not. But look, my Peter Brady impersonation. Look down by Cuba in the Straits in about a week and a half. It does have one little piece that decides not to curve, but to hang. Now, I repeat, do I think that is going to happen? I absolutely, positively do not. Will I make a guarantee like I did on Halloween 31 years ago? I will not. You've learned your lesson, right? You learn your lesson. If you know, you know. So, let's recap. Hurricane Center, now up to red for the area that would become Cristobal if it were to become named. And there's a legitimate chance that it will. Looking at the spaghetti models for the Euro Ensemble, it brings a weaker system as it finally curves. And I'll say it again, if you look at history, this is a track that appears to be really, really solid. Historically, this is where they go. And when you look at the spaghetti models, that's where this one wants to go to. So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, we're totally good, even though we are totally good with this one. But I'm not going to say that officially. But I pretty much am. But officially, we're not, all right? All right, we got weather to talk about locally as well. And the rest of the tropics coming up in 90 seconds as DPL continues. Hey, is Omar back? Wait a minute, who am I button banning? Button, please. Who am I banning? Let me, the Halloween story, Mary knows. Let's see. Mark's talking about decorative soaps. See, this is when this stuff just completely goes out on its own, and I thoroughly enjoy reading the comments. Jason wants to know, Jason, how you doing? Jason wants to know if it's time to go buy bread and milk yet. It is not. And by the way, Jason, Omar went to buy guac. Jason, bread and milk is a Northeast thing with snow. Bread and milk is not a Florida thing. We buy, well, you guys know what we buy. We're doing different. Floridians do it differently. Steve wants to talk about 70s disco music. What in the world? All right. All right, so, my hand. Man, I've been hitting that. Omar got me riled up. Got me a little riled up. That's okay. Because I say it again, more people watch for the ban button for whatever reason than anything else, which is kind of a sad commentary, but it is what it is. Okay, we are back in 3, 2. Welcome back to Dennis Phillips Live on a Monday. Tonight is the only night we do not have a guest. Jocelyn, my producer/handler, has reminded me we have guests the rest of the week. We have the folks from Creative Loafing for Best of the Bay. We have the folks from Feeding Tampa Bay. We have other folks. So we're going to have guests, but we are obviously going to be having tomfoolery, shenanigans, ban button, and the tropics as needed. So if you're just tuning in last second, again, this is a look at the European ensemble, and it is very adamant that whatever's out there, which is now red, it is now red. Not that red. Where is it? This one. It is now red with a 70% chance of, I do have a handler, Ann. My handler is named Jocelyn. She is my handler/producer. Tina, you have to go back and watch. If you're reading people talking about the guac, Vicky says the first rule of Guac Club. If you're reading about the guac, you probably know what happened. Because you do. You get some folks in here, and they're kind of like, we go at our own pace. right? We go at our own pace. And if it's not up to the pace that they want, they make it known, and we make it known that we don't, all right? All right, so let's go back real quick, and we got another break, and then we'll talk on Facebook for a while longer. Sean, Omar, Sean just came for the weather. What's up, Sean? All right, so anyway, that number is 70, and it is red. I have to manually update that one, but that is the area of low pressure that should curve away from the U.S. So there's your forecast tonight. Some evening storms, otherwise partly cloudy. First day of school, so sad. Tomorrow morning, Pinellas County, upper 70s. There is a look at the beach forecast. So for the parents who are going to the beach because the kids are in school, there it is. It's a great day at the beach, mid to upper 80s with lots of sunshine. For the boaters, water temperature 89 degrees with sunny skies, east winds 5 to 10 knots, seas a foot or two with a light chop on the bay. And, okay, I don't even know a Laura, Dorothy. So wait a minute. Which one is Laura? Don't know. All right, so I'm confused about that one. There's a 7-day. Only a 20% chance of rain coming up right on through the week into the weekend. I do think heat advisories are going to be marginal. We may have a heat advisory in a couple of spots. And, but my guess is probably not, like right on the fringe. All right, so there it is. There's the 7-day, all right? Here is the latest NHC, which is now red, and the forecast track, which should keep it well to the east of the U.S. and the islands. Jennifer in Connecticut, how you doing? Back in 90 seconds for our last segment of DPL. Okay. Oh, yeah, LSG. That's Lauren, not Laura. Lauren, or as we call her, LSG. Let's look at radar real quick. Since you asked. I wonder if Omar's back yet. When I suspended Anna Maria, she didn't get back for like 35, 40 minutes. Moran and Holiday, how you doing? Omar's left the party. David. Oh, you guys are making me laugh. It's good because I'm in such pain. Yeah, I hope I don't have a hernia. It's a true story. I know it's probably TMI, but I literally chopped down 3 trees. My wife was calling me Paul Bunyan yesterday, and now I am too old to be chopping down trees, flat out. I just am. All right, so will the red blob impact a cruise to Boston this weekend? It will not. Charlotte Stormy is good. She is a sweetheart. All right, we are back in 15 seconds. Justice for Omar. All right, back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to Dennis Phillips Live. Thank you for joining us. If you're watching on the spot, we got another minute. We're going to continue on Facebook for a few minutes. I'm hearing hashtag Justice for Omar is now a thing. Mess with the boy, you get the horn, so I got to say. Anyway, let's check radar real quick because there are some showers and some thunderstorms. Ashley in Tarpon, how you doing? Bel Air, Michigan is in the house with Janice. We got folks from all over the place. Joanna in Englewood. Matter of fact, Englewood actually right on the fringe of some rain and some storms right now. So there's where most of the rain is going on right now. But overall, most of the rain will be inland. Free pizza for Omar. If you know, you know. You have to go back and watch on Facebook because this does repeat. So anyway, tomorrow night we have guests. We're going to do what we always do. A lot of interaction. You guys crack me up in the comments. If you're watching on TV, just hanging out, that's awesome too. I appreciate you. Appreciate everybody stopping by. We're going to continue on Facebook for a few minutes. Streamers and spot folks, have a great night. We'll see you on tomorrow night's edition of Dennis Phillips Live. And we're in a break. We hit it. Sam in Lakeland, how you doing? Brooksville checking in with Carla. Gina from New Hampshire, formerly Bradenton. How you doing, Gina? Lutz is in the house with OG. What else? Justice for Anna Maria. Anna Maria has not been banned. Anna Maria has not been banned. So I don't know what you're talking about. Greetings from Wesley Chapel. Deborah, how you doing? Sandy wants guac now. Venice is in the house with Lenore. How you doing? Michael left South Tampa after 17 years, found more rain inland when he moved from Lutz. England. Joan in England is here. How's it going, Joan? I always love when we have international folks. Judith, that's very kind. I appreciate it. Her favorite part of the day, DPL. That makes me so happy. Corey in Odessa. Nice to see you. Charles Harper. I went and talked with Charles Harper's folks at Largo. Gosh, Charles, how long was that? Like 10 years ago, 15 years ago? It was forever ago. Charles is a good guy. Charles knows weather, too. Jules, how you doing? Jules, I've not seen you today. Were you? Did you just Jules, you're running late. Oh, Jules, you missed the drama. You missed it. Ohio's in the house with Sarah. Bahamas cruise 817 to 821. Jeff. Now, that's an interesting question. The answer is yes, for the most part. But let's look at that. Because, Jerry, how you doing? Good to see you. Northport's here with Tracy as well. Leisha, nice to see you as always. I love Leisha, and I so loved your sister. All right, where is it? Where the heck is the accurate? Oh, here we go. Okay. All right, so here's a look at the GFS. And we're looking to the 21st in the Bahamas. So you got your tropical system here. That's Friday, Saturday. There's the 17th. And it just starts to die out. You do have a front stalling out. But nothing truly tropical developing. Look what it does try to do in the Northwest Caribbean, like on the 22nd. Well, unsettled weather, but that's so far out that it's fantasy land. So nothing to worry about there. Let's look at the euro. Got your area down there. Does develop it a little while, but then it goes into the hurricane graveyard, which is the area in those islands right there. Does develop, and then it starts to go away, and it just slides harmlessly out to sea. And then nothing else. So that would be about it. You know what? I asked Ryan, my daughter Ryan, you guys are talking about Halloween decorations. Finished decorating today. Halloween is up, so says Red. You know what? Red, there are going to be some people, oh, man, I should not have chopped those trees down. There are going to be some people who say it is too early. Dare I say maybe the majority of people might say it's too early. I don't think it's too early. I literally said to Ryan today, let's put up Halloween decorations. Because for me, it's all about the anticipation more so than the event itself. And I like extending that anticipation a long time. That's kind of my nature, all right? I'm all about the anticipation as opposed to like the end result thing. It's like Christmas morning, and it's like Halloween. You know, you got that one day, and that's awesome, but then it's over. And you're kind of like, ah, man, that's awful, right? So if you can extend the anticipation, why not? And you know what? That's something else. That's something else that happens these days. So many people are so vocal and opinionated. Like I'll put up my Halloween decorations. Usually we wait till September 1st. We start to put them up. Same thing with the Christmas decorations. We do them very early. Takes a long time to put them up outside. Why do people feel the need to post, it's way too early for that? Says who? Are you the czar of Christmas and Halloween decorations? I mean, did anyone, now if I said, hey, is it too early to put up decorations? Then I totally get it. And I would say yes. But who asked you if anybody thought that it's too early to put up Christmas or Halloween decorations, I say? I didn't ask you. So, Red, I am all about you making yourself happy. Because at the end of the day, that's what matters. If you, and I'm the same way, by the way. When I walk in the house and the decorations are up, it absolutely I'm going to give a confession to you. I would keep Christmas decorations up the entire year. Granted, they're less special, I think, maybe for me if they were up all year, but I did keep a tree up in the master bedroom, not decorated, but a Christmas tree with white lights on it, and I got my wife to agree all year round. She finally caved because it just makes me happy. So I don't know. I always find it fascinating when people, oh, it's too early. Says who, right? Now, if I ask you, it's another story. And maybe I will, and then I'll expect to hear anything and everything. But I don't know. It's always something that kind of like irks me a little bit. Because I'll see somebody posting, like somebody will be happy with their decorations, and they put them up there, right? And they look really nice. And somebody says, well, I don't know. When I was growing up, my parents didn't put them up until the day after Thanksgiving or whatever. That's great. Who asked you? So anyway, that was all. Rochelle, I'm inclined to agree with you. I mean, this is not a commentary on social media. It's not, because I love social media. I like the interactions. I like the bickering. I like the pot stirring. It makes me laugh. But I agree with you. I do think there's that keyboard warrior mentality. Okay, perfect example. Perfect example. If you were walking by your neighbor's house and they're in their driveway and they had their decorations up, would you walk up to that person face to face? And I'm talking to the people who are, and maybe there's no one here who does it. Well, I think there probably is. Would you walk up to that person and say, why did you put your decorations up? It's way too early. Or would you probably say, oh, your decorations look nice? Or you might not say anything. But would you really say to, and I'm not saying a friend, I'm saying an acquaintance, not even an acquaintance, a neighbor. Would you walk by and say, oh, why are you putting up those early? I have a neighbor like this, by the way, and I'm not even going to get into it. But at the end of the day, would you do that in person? I say you wouldn't. But there are people who do it on Facebook or on Instagram or wherever on social media, right? It's the whole keyboard warrior mentality. I find it very fascinating. All right, so anyway. Lori, I would keep my Christmas village up the entire year. I love the Christmas village. It is my favorite thing. And I absolutely would keep it up. I mean, I think of the movie Arthur, the original one. You know, the original. Remember he had that train set? In his bedroom, I think it was. Yeah, it was his bedroom, big, huge train set. That's awesome. And because it made him happy. So anyway, that's the way I felt about that. So Rob says, it depends how well I know the neighbor. Well, that was my point, Rob. If you're friends, that's another story. If you know them, that's another story. Razzing is one thing. But I'm talking about these people on social media who don't know these people, and they're going on and say, why are you doing it so early? It's not even Halloween yet, or whatever, Drives me crazy. Who asked you? All right, unless they did ask you. And then, hey, you ask them, all's fair. What do you think, Omar? Omar, what do you think about that? Please elaborate, Omar. Let me know. Oh, wait. Let's see. Oh, nice, Tammy. Tammy changes your theme every year. That's kind of cool. I wish I don't do, I add pieces like Robert's Christmas Place every year in Clearwater. They have a sale in October. It's through Halloween where I think it's 25 or 50% off one piece of full price. So I always add a new piece to the village, or 2 or 10, every year. So it adds to it, but to have a whole different theme, that's awesome. That's pretty amazing. No, we are not going to get hit, Anna. We are not. If you're just tuning in, where have you been? You missed the fun. You missed the banning. You missed the bickering. Exactly, Diane. Do what makes you happy. Steve and I agree 100%. All right, so anyway, there it is. There's one last look at the track of what is now an area in red. There's the area in red from the Hurricane Center, now up to 70%. Thank you, Mary. Appreciate it. Oh, wow. You're going to Mickey's Halloween party? Mickey's Not So Scary? I couldn't get tickets. I wish I could, because those are awesome. My daughter loves Mickey's Not So Scary, but I didn't get tickets this year. So there's a look at what the Hurricane Center shows, but again, look at the spaghetti models. There is much consensus that eventually this will curve out to sea. There's one little area there. What's up with that? But don't think it's going to happen. All right. Used to love Halloween Horror Nights. Ryan's too scared of it, but I do love Halloween Horror Nights as well. All right, guys. Have a great night. Tomorrow night, I can't remember who we have, but we will be talking tropics, of course. We will have our guests, and we'll talk about whatever y'all want to, because that's my favorite part of the show, when these comments are going like crazy like they did tonight. Have a great night, and we'll see you on tomorrow night's edition of Dennis Phillips Live. See you guys.